Hello, everybody, and welcome back to week 6 in our Parenting Today lecture series. So we are on part 1, beginning our series in regard to issues related to modern parenting. I'm Dr. Eileen McCabe-Maucher here at the University of Maryland, University College. I hope that you're doing well in our course. Please remember that your success in our course is very important to me. So if you feel like you're struggling with an issue or have a question, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm just an email away. So as we begin our discussion related to issues in modern parenting, we're going to start off talking about parenting adults. So we're going to revisit some of the theories that we talked about earlier in the course and add some new theory today. So remembering theories related to adult development, remember Dr. Sigmund Freud's theory of psychosexual development. Dr. Freud postulated that well-adjusted adults are those who love having relationships, who have loving relationships and work, and actually love having those relationships and that work. So Freud hypothesized that healthy, fully functioning adults have resolved all of the stages in development in earlier life. So remembering stage 1 is that oral stage, stage 2, the anal stage 3, the phallic stage 4, the latent stage, and stage 5 is the genital stage that extends into adulthood. So other theories related to adult development are Dr. Erik Erikson's theory of psychosocial development. Remember, Erik Erikson hypothesized that between the ages of approximately 13 to 24, the issue that we needed to resolve was identity versus role confusion. And then Erik Erikson then moved on to the stage of intimacy versus isolation, which he postulated that had to be resolved between approximately the ages of 24 to 29 years. So Dr. Erik Erikson said that healthy adults should have productive work, social and family life, and have commitment to a life partner. Dr. Erik Erikson said that a healthy adult should have a desire and a commitment to both have and raise children. So this leads us with a problem in modern day parenting. Does this mean that people who are single or who don't have children can't be well adjusted? And what do you think? Do you think that this is a culturally competent relative theory, or do you think that we should be doing work to expound upon this theory in the year 2006 and beyond? Other theories related to adult development or Bowlby's attachment theory. Remember, in attachment theory, you want to remember that in healthy parent-adult-child relationships, that attachment is lifelong and that open communication exists with that attachment figure, that there's physical accessibility to that help, and that parents offer help to the child as needed throughout the lifespan. So Dr. Jeffrey Arnett added a new modern stage of development, which he dubbed emerging adulthood. So in the stage of emerging adulthood is continued identity exploration. There's periods of instability, periods of crisis that are resolved as they come up. So oftentimes adults are caught between adolescence and adulthood during this emerging adulthood. There's a greater area of self-focus as well as optimism about the future. So this phase of emerging adulthood is supported by emerging neuroscience and brain research. Emerging adulthood is evidenced by that continuation of prefrontal development in that prefrontal cortex of the brain. There's an increased control over emotions and behaviors, increased coping and resilience. And it's important to note that this life phase of emerging adulthood exists only in societies where marriage and parenthood are delayed due to education. So children are not forced to adopt adult roles at an early age, due to social, cultural, or economic type of factors. So again, this right here are scans of the brain of people as they age. So we can see the differentiation in both the gray matter here. So there's 5 markers of adulthood, and these 5 are as follows. Number 1, living independently of parents. Number 2, completing an education. Number 3, holding a steady job. Number 4, being in a marriage or another committed domestic partnership. And number 5, childbearing. So we talk about transitions for parents of adults, and this is building on the work of Unell and Wyckoff, that phase one is remodeling. So the hallmark is that having that empty nest, that sadness, that emptiness, home is redefined because children are not in the home as much. So parents begin to think about their own fulfillment. There's a renewed energy and excitement for careers, hobbies, other type of activities, which sometimes can be, rejuvenating the relationship itself among parents if they're still married or in a domestic partnership. Phase two is known as a plateau phase. So children are independent, considered adults. Parents are looking forward to grandparenting. A sense of generativity is hopefully taking place. That circle of life is nearing completion. Parents at this stage may be part of that sandwich generation where they're caring for children and aging parents simultaneously, which we know can be incredibly stressful. So phase three is known as the rebounding stage. That's when parents may need assistance from illness or crisis. The interaction with family is still as important, but the nature of the relationship varies. So there's proud independence. Those are parents that are retaining autonomy as long as possible. It's a cause for concern for adult children. There's the humble submissive, so that parents that don't want to be an inconvenience to their adult children, they ask for nothing but often feel rejected, so they may complain to their adult children about a lack of attention. And then there's another group which we term the age sages. So they maintain independence, but they're willing to ask for help as needed and reciprocate with their adult children when possible. So also tasks for adult parents of adult children, assessing that child's level of autonomy, so the maturity level. Increased independence can trigger crises. So parents' needs should always have equal weights as children. Parents can be using technology to increase closeness, so using a webcam or Skype or other social media platforms to be able to enhance communication. So communication, really critical at this stage. Being calm, non-critical, using active listening and a problem-solving type of approach. So how does communication change as children become adults? It's a time where we need to set new ground rules, new boundaries. Parents can be less critical. Children can determine the topics of conversation and really drive the conversation as adults. And children may elect when to withhold information from parents. So parenting adults here, parents of adult children offer many times financial support, social support, emotional support, instrumental in both parenting and adult decisions, as well as informational, providing really instruction, advice on money matters and things like that. Financial support. Important research tells us that between the ages of 18 and 34, parents give adult children an average of $38,000. So although much conventional wisdom, mainstream United States gives us this idea that children, once they reach the age of adulthood, age of 18, they're supposed to be financially independent, but oftentimes there's this sort of disconnect or lack of information. But when people are given anonymous surveys, they will admit to giving adult children an average of $38,000 between the ages of 18 to 34. So even poor parents give money, an average of $9,000 over 16 years. And financial support tends to decline with the age of a child. In terms of social support, parents are still an important source of emotional support, providing validation, love, care, and encouragement. Instrumental support is also really a big factor here, with many grandparents providing childcare up to an average of 380 hours every year, also helping with car repairs, cooking meals, serving as a support of information, providing guidance and advice. So we're going to stop our part one here, and I look forward to rejoining you as we begin part two on week number 6.